the big news last week was the Apple event,
Mm-hmm.
and we got iPods, new iPods.
New iPods, yes.
Um,
I
so
think the only one that did not change was the shuffle.
it changed in color.
Change in color. Okay.
Yeah, we had new colors, kind of a softer,
Kind of,
softer
yeah.
tones, and then there was a product red, the one that donates a portion to charity. The new Nano. Now we have video on the Nano.
Video on the Nano.
And then the what we used to call the fifth gen iPod is now the iPod Classic.
Yes.
And it's now been bumped up in size.
160 gig of iPod funness. Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mhm.
That should handle most people's needs.
Just,
160
yeah.
gigabytes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got the iPod Touch, which answered a lot of people's prayers. They wanted the iPod part of the iPhone. In fact, a lot of people were buying iPhones so they didn't want to even use the phone part, but they wanted the iPod part. So they've got that now. So that's pretty cool.
It is, for all intents and purposes, an Apple PDA
Yeah, right.
that happens to play music.
And then at the end they dropped the iPhone price, which caused a big stir. People were complaining all over the internet, and of course I paid the $5.99 times 2.
Yeah. How about all those people that you convinced to buy the phone? Are they?
I haven't talked to anybody yet, but it's funny because there was such an outrage, and it's the vocal minority. They get on the internet, they complain, oh, Apple screwed us, dropped the price again. To me personally, I was glad. I thought, wow, it'd been great if they dropped the price even more, because it just lets many more people.
Yeah.
And that was one of the big barriers. So many people I talked to was the high price, and so that's just.
Well, and this happens with technology. I mean.
But does it happen
within months?
30%?
No.
In 2 months?
I didn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this either means one of two things: the iPhone is doing so well that they're able to increase production and lower cost, or they've got a big stock of iPhones and they're trying to get rid of them because they've got a new one coming up before.
Who knows? The official reason, we got the holidays coming up, and they wanted to really allow a lot of people to get in there and get one. So.
But now Steve Jobs did something that you don't normally see a corporation do.
He caved. He caved to the pressure. And he came out with another open letter. And we haven't, the last open letter was when he talked about
The music.
DRM,
right? Sure.
Right? And how it's not us, it's not Apple that's doing all this DRM, it's them, right? It's the music companies. And then since that open letter, of course, they started the iTunes Plus store and stripped out the DRM. But in this open letter, he's giving us back $100 in
store credit.
Yeah, in Apple bucks. Yeah. So.
Which, hey, if you just bought an iPhone, that's a lot of iTunes purchases. If you.
Sure. Well, I don't know if you can use it on the iTunes.
Oh, really?
Store. It'll be they haven't released the details yet. That'll be released this week, but it'll either be in the store or on the online store, not necessarily on the iTunes store. So we'll see. So that might be. I mean, that's most of the way towards a Bluetooth headset.
Sure.
Or some money down on a new Mac or whatever. So that's something.
Sure.
I'm certainly going to spend $100 or $200 in the Apple Store in the future, so that helps. I guess that was it for the big news.
Starbucks.
Starbucks. Yeah. Well, the ringtones too.
Oh, and I didn't know about the ringtones.
The ringtones. They're going to be selling ringtones to the iTunes Store.
Okay.
Which is 99 cents on top of the basic music purchase. So once you've bought a track on iTunes, you can then convert it to a ringtone
for another 99
cents. And a lot of people were complaining about Apple. Said, "Oh, Apple's ripping us off." Well, again, that's the music companies.
Yes.
Okay, that's the music companies that got that into copyright law. That a ringtone is a separate entity, so it's not Apple trying to make extra money.
That's so crazy.
And in fact, in the first few days since this announcement, people found out that you could just do some renaming and you could convert any file you wanted into a ringtone, and you could bypass all that. And you mentioned the Starbucks business relationship. There is a new iTunes wireless music store, which you can use anywhere you got wireless access, and you can use it from your iPhone, from your iPod Touch, from your Mac or PC.
Yeah. And
it allows you to purchase songs on the go.
I love the whole thing. So you're in Starbucks, you hear the song that's playing.
Right.
Your iPod Touch shows you what song is playing.
Or your iPhone.
Or your iPhone. I think it actually shows the last 10 songs played.
Yes.
Or something along those lines.
And then allows you to
And
purchase.
then purchase what you're hearing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now it doesn't. You get free access to that store within Starbucks. You don't get free access to the internet.
Yeah, which
Which would have been nice.
it would have been nice, especially since I mean, there are so many places out there. I mean, I think
do
McDonald's. There are McDonald's that have free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And you can get fries with that.
Right. So they say, well, you can buy stuff for free. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for letting me spend my money.
Yeah. And it'll be a while before they roll this out, especially to our Starbucks down here in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like many years before we get it down here. But it'll be kind of interesting to see that because you get a Starbucks icon will pop up on your iPod Touch or iPhone. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And so that'll allow you, like, say if you're traveling, you're someplace and you just want to buy a song to listen to on the plane ride back, and then when you get home, it'll sync to your iTunes.
Back to your iTunes, correct? So it's not like it's just
Right. So that's kind of interesting. So we'll see how that works out in practice. One thing we normally do at the beginning of the show we forgot to do, and that's email.
Yes.
So let's go back and read an email.
You talked about your sign last week.
Last week, the wooden sign.
Beautiful wooden sign, which I have not seen. You have to show me before I leave here.
Okay.
So yeah, somebody noticed something that I think I probably should have, because they had one of these sitting right next to me when we did the. This is from Jason. Love the podcast. It helps to know that there are others in the world who have the same hobby/passion. I just received some Apple Disk 2 floppy drives, and they have the exact same logo design as the sign you pointed out in your last podcast. Just thought you would like to know. And he is an LC/68K pizza box enthusiast. So yes, if you do have a Disk 2 sitting around your house, if you look at it, you will notice the high green.
Yeah, why don't you grab that one?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we talked about the high stripe logo, how the traditional striped logo that you see, the green stripe goes into the bite.
There we go.
And on this one, it actually doesn't extend into the bite. It just kind of cuts the top of the apple. Yeah. So, way to spot that, Jason. And now it's got me obsessed with looking at old Apple stuff to see
what does and what does not.
Right.
Where the cutoff was on that.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen it on there, and we've seen it on my wooden sign, but I'll just keep an eye on it. If anybody else sees something, you can let us know. Let's see. Let's talk about next week. We've got to pick a Retro Mac of the week, and I think John and I settled on the very first G3 desktop, which we call it the beige.
The beige G3, yeah.
This is before we kind of got into the whole, reimagination of computer design with
the blue and white to the Yosemite.
Yeah, right. And so we just have the beige desktop. Not a lot of fanciness on the case design, but of course a lot going on the inside with the new G3 processor.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that next week. And the other thing that we failed to mention in the news was the iPod Hi-Fi. The big white monolith speaker system was quietly delisted from the Apple Store. So it is officially retro now because it is not for sale new. At least on Apple.
Definition.
I don't know. But anyway, that got me thinking about Apple speakers, and of course now I have to get a Hi-Fi for my collection. But I want to do a collection spotlight next week on Apple speakers.
Ah, excellent.
There have been a variety over the years, and so we'll take a look at those and just kind of chart them as they changed.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I guess this is been a great episode.
Yes.
Our first recorded video episode. So go out on YouTube and we'll have that out there. And we'll listen to you next week. And of course, it's not old.
It's retro.
That's right.
Thanks for listening to the Retro Maccast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.